Hello everyone, Joseph Dunphy here, and this is your weekly Grass10 grazing management update on the Dairy Edge. The PastureBase figures for the week are: the average farm cover is 756 kilos of dry matter per hectare. The cover per livestock unit is sitting at 266 kilos of dry matter per livestock unit. Growth and demand are roughly the same at about 40 kilos of dry matter per hectare. Pre-grazing yield is at 1630 kilos of dry matter per hectare. And it's about 5.5 kilos of supplement going in the diet at the minute, 4 kilos of meal, 1.5 kilos of silage, and about 13 kilos of grass. Dry matter percentages for the week: 16% in Athenry, County Galway, 15% in Oak Park, County Carlow, 12% in Moore Park, County Cork, and 15% in Grange, County Meath. Predicted grass growth, rainfall, and soil temperatures for the coming 7 days. Grass growth predictions are expected to be quite good again for the coming 7 days, with between 30 and 40 kilos of dry matter per hectare for most parts of the country. Soil temperatures, however, are beginning to slip back now to between 10 and 11 degrees, and predicted rainfall amounts are quite low at between 5 and 15 millimetres of rain for the coming 7 days. The two objectives on farm at this time of the year are to keep grass in the diet of the grazing animal and to close the farm to have enough grass available in the spring. Growth of grass on Irish farms is quite good over the last 7 days, with just shy of 40 kilos of dry matter per hectare grown on farm. There was large variation in the weather, with some areas of the south receiving 50 millimetres of rain, while parts of the north only receive 5 to 10 millimetres of rain. Average farm cover is just starting to fall on farms, so the introduction of silage in the diet will be required on some farms. This will maintain average farm cover and allow animals to stay out grazing for longer. As we enter October, it's important to make a plan for closing on your farm. On dairy farms where spring grass supply is a priority, farmers should aim for a farm cover of greater than 700 kilos of dry matter per hectare on the 1st of December. Every week delay in closing reduces spring grass supply by over 100 kilos of dry matter per hectare. To get good clean outs on paddocks, continue to strip graze, use a back fence and multiple access points to reduce damage. The aim on dry farms is to have close to 70% of the farm closed by the 1st of November and heavy soils over 80%. So for a 30 hectare farm, this means grazing 20 hectares in 25 days, or 0.8 of a hectare per day, or 5.5 hectares per week. Most farms should be out on a 40-day rotation at the minute. While closing off is influenced by ground conditions, paddock choice during closing is critical. To start grazing next spring, some of the drier paddocks that have good grazing infrastructure with roadways and plenty of access and exit points will need to be targeted. So these paddocks will need to be closed from mid-October on to ensure medium covers of 800 to 1200 kilos of dry matter per hectare to start grazing next spring. Try to graze off some of the more difficult, heavier soil type paddocks on your farm this week, or the more difficult to access paddocks. See our Picking Your Paddocks infograph below to guide you in closing off your farm. In this week's Grass10 newsletter, we have 2 videos with autumn grazing updates from County Kilkenny and County Cavan. Click on the link in this week's Grass10 newsletter to hear from Michael Smith from County Cavan and Joe Murphy from County Kilkenny as they take us through their plans for the final grazing rotation and the average farm cover they want to have on their farms on the 1st of December. Advice on remaining nutrient application: there's still an opportunity to apply K and lime with the current excellent ground conditions on farm. Apply K to Index 2 grazing paddocks and ground cut for silage at about 1 bag to the acre of MOP, which is 0,050. Soiled water from the collecting yard tank should be spread on paddocks grazed from now on. This week's Grass10 feature farmer is Michael Ahern from Ballyduff Upper in County Waterford. His average farm cover at the minute is 776 kilos of dry matter per hectare, and the cover per livestock unit is 214 kilos of dry matter per livestock unit. Growth was 49 over the last 7 days, and demand is roughly the same at 51 kilos of dry matter per hectare. Pre-grazing yield is sitting at 1600 kilos dry matter per hectare, and current milk yield is 15 litres at 6.03 fat and 4.41 protein. Cows are on 12-hour grass allocations at the minute, grazing 1 hectare per grazing with a 40-day rotation. Cow's diet is currently 9.5 kilos of grass, 4 kilos of meal and 5.5 kilos of silage. Michael will begin closing paddocks from today on, the 8th of October, and the target is to have somewhere between 650 and 700 kilos of dry matter per hectare on the farm on the 1st of December. White clover paddocks will be grazed in late October, and red clover silage fields will be grazed or zero grazed in the next week. If you'd like to hear more from the Grass10 team, subscribe to the weekly Grass10 newsletter, which is available on the Grass10 page on the Teagasc public website, and the link to the newsletter is also available in the description of this podcast. This has been your Grass10 update, and I'll talk to you all next week.